Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to The Pitch. I'm Kevin Jackson. I'm the General Manager of the Elgin Business Resource Centre, and we are streaming live this evening from the atrium in ice at the Elgin Business Resource Centre. After a year and a half hiatus due to COVID, we are back. We are aware of our protocol, and we are streaming here live. I just wanted to say hello and welcome back. We are looking forward to a great evening. Please enjoy. I will turn this over now to our other host, Mark Mascio. Mark?
Hey everybody, good evening. Nice to see everybody, to see bodies in chairs instead of faces on screens for a change. So tonight we're having our 6th iteration of The Pitch. We had a year's hiatus, as Kevin said, fell off of it for a year like the rest of the world, but we're back and very happy to be so. I wanted to say a little bit about the competition. As I say, it's our 6th time doing it. We did our first version in 2015, and tonight it's kind of interesting because our co-host, or my co-host, who I'd like to bring out, is Sarah Fauché, also one of our business advisors. Sarah was our first winner in our very first pitch in 2015 with her business at the time, Smart Dental Hygiene. So tonight, Sarah and I will be your, I guess, MCs or hosts for the night. And to get on with it, then we will tell you a little bit about the competition itself. So everybody submitted business plans. The aim of the game in the business plan was to basically sell your business. Tell us a little bit more about it. Why is it valuable to the community? What are you doing for the community? Are you creating jobs? Are you creating a sustainable business? What do you bring into the table? And then from those business plans that were submitted, we narrowed down to 5 finalists who are here tonight to present their summary of their business. So the way that will go is each presenter will have 10 minutes. During that time, they might do some media, they might just talk and tell you about their business. Our 4 judges will listen and take notes. And then at the end of each finalist's presentation, each judge will have 1 question. If you don't have a question or your question was already taken, that's fine. Just go on to the next judge. So with that, as you're doing your presentation, it's 10 minutes firm. Our lovely Lisa King, our accountant, is doing the timekeeping at the back. Lisa has 2 cards, a yellow and a red. When she raises her yellow card, you have 1 minute left. So just keep that in mind, that you kind of have to start wrapping up your presentation, and we would ask everybody to be quite good about ending at the 10 minutes. So with that, I'd like to introduce Sarah.
Thank you, Mark. Just a little bit of housekeeping to take care of. We are going to ask that you remain masked unless you are in front of a microphone, please. That is for our COVID protocols, and just keep a little bit distanced if you can, of course. And secondly, we are going to ask that you actively engage with us, our virtual audience. We are so happy that you are listening tonight. We appreciate you, we see you, and we would like you to engage with us. So during the judge deliberation period, after all of our finalists have completed their presentation, we please ask that you join us on either YouTube or Facebook and engage with us on the established media platform or the Elgin Business Resource Centre platform. You can engage with us on those 2 platforms only during the judge deliberation period. So I am going to introduce our judges, and our judges in front of us here, starting with Kevin Jackson. Kevin Jackson is the General Manager of Elgin Business Resource Centre, a community futures development corporation serving all of Elgin County. Kevin has been associated with the center for 12 years and has a previous background in marketing, public speaking, and entrepreneurship. Kevin is the president of the Community Futures Ontario, director of the National Network of CFDCs, and vice president of Kettle Creek Trust. Of course, EBRC is also a proud sponsor of The Pitch. Secondly, I would like to introduce Sandra Albas. Sandra is a senior small business advisor with the Meridian Credit Union. Sandra grew up on a poultry and cow-calf operation in Peel County and has expertise in the agricultural business. Sandra and her husband also own and operate a small cash crop and sheep farm near London, Ontario. Sandra received her Bachelor of Science from the University of Guelph, followed that by completing a postgraduate marketing management program from Humber College, and in 2002 completed the Canadian Investment Funds course and obtained her personal financial planner counselor designation. Sandra served as a board of director for the Elgin Federation of Agriculture and member of the International Plowing Match Association, Motorcycle Ride for Dad, and director on the board for the London Small Business Centre. Of course, the Almer Meridian Credit Union branch is also a proud sponsor of the pitch.
And for our next two judges, so the next to be introduced is Jacob Baribeau. Jacob is the son of one of our original panel of judges, Jack Baribeau, all serial entrepreneurs born into it. Jacob is a young business leader in construction and property development. Jacob's recently been promoted to VP of Sales and Business Development at Baribeau Construction, his family's business, and continues his role of development coordinator at the Elgin Innovation Centre, which is the brownfield redevelopment site of the old Imperial Tobacco building in Elmer. He is a national ambassador for Family Business Canada, which he recommends for anyone involved in a family business. And Jacob holds a BA in Business Administration from Briarcrest College and Seminary, as well as a diploma in Business Marketing from Saskatchewan Polytechnic. And Jacob is also a proud husband and a father of two, and a new father of two to his most recent newborn. Thank you again, Jacob, for being with us. And EIC is also a very proud and longtime sponsor of the pitch. And then finally, the lovely Samantha Wakefield. Samantha is the general manager of MyFM 94.1 in St. Thomas. And she's led a dynamic team for the last 11 years, brings a lot to the marketing community in our region. Samantha is a director with the Elgin Business Resource Centre and is a dedicated committee member of the Member Services Committee for the St. Thomas and District Chamber of Commerce. 94.1 is also a proud sponsor, a platinum sponsor of the pitch. So that is our judges for tonight. At this point, I'll ask Sarah if she wants to introduce the finalists.
Okay, introducing our finalists this evening. And this is in the order of presentations as well. First, we have Raw for Pets, Tom Skippen. Simply Pure with Jame Patriquin. Havi Electric, Tyler Haviland. Dynamic Pump Solutions, James Jette. And the Icebox, Markus Hawco.
Excuse me. So with that, I think it deserves to be explained a little bit about how our prize package came to be. Over the years, it's grown substantially. Our first winner, Sarah, was the recipient of a $10,000 prize package, about $4,500 in cash and the balance in business services and goods, mainly services. It has grown steadily over the years, so that now we are at a grand total of $25,000 with $8,500 in cash and the rest in some tremendous business services. So, a huge shout out to our sponsors, of which we had 4 tiers. We had platinum, gold, silver, and bronze, depending on their level of contribution. So our platinum sponsors, just so I don't get this wrong, our platinum sponsors are those that donated over $5,000 in cash and or goods and services. And those sponsors for tonight were Elgin Business Resource Centre, Established Media, who is also our tremendous technological wizards behind all of the online broadcasting and the filming for tonight, Reading Designs out of Elmer, and of course MyFM, who's always been a strong sponsor for us. So those are our platinum sponsors. And do you want to go through our gold?
Absolutely. So introducing our gold sponsors for this evening. A&E Graphics Group, the County of Elgin, Doug Terry Homes, Edward Jones, specifically the Robert Mascot Office, Elgin Innovation Centre, Meridian Credit Union, the Elmer branch, as well as the Western Ontario Community Futures and SOFI program.
I'll just also add that our gold sponsors are those that donated to the prize package an amount between $1,000 and $5,000 of goods and services. I think I ran away with the sheet, the prize sheet, so Sarah didn't have it. My apologies. Next in line was our silver sponsors. Those are businesses that supported this program with donations worth between $500 and $1,000. And those silver sponsors are Butter Me Up Soap Company, Gorman Rupp here in St. Thomas, HRP4B, which is the acronym for Human Resources Professionals for Business, and finally the Workforce Planning and Development Board for London and Middlesex. So big shout out to them. And then finally our bronze sponsors, which Sarah will wrap up with.
So our bronze sponsors are those that contributed less than $500. And those sponsors are the Elmer Chamber of Commerce, Black Cat Concepts, Game Over Baby, North Shore Beacon, and the St. Thomas and District Chamber of Commerce. And so now I would like to introduce our first presenter and welcome them to the platform here. So that will be Tom Skippen of Raw for Pets.
Welcome, Tom.
Welcome.
Woof! Hey, True, did you see what Max next door was eating?
No, Dad. Did they leave the trash open again?
Even worse! Processed kibble.
Ugh, does he look like a hamster? That hound needs meat.
That's why we're so lucky our humans go to Raw for Pets.
Fresh, real food. Oh, yum, oh, yum, oh.
Down, Pooch! That tail's gonna take off.
For fresh, raw, natural pet food, visit rawforpets.ca for delivery options or see them at 24 First Avenue in St. Thomas.
True
dat.
RFP Natural Nutrition Center, also known as Raw for Pets, or RFP, is a pet manufacturing process business that plans to expand growth across Ontario, supporting the growing demands of the raw pet food industry. The pet population in Canada has increased by a compound annual growth of 0.4%. That's putting us at 27.9 million pets in 2020. Retail sales of pet food in Canada has increased 5.8% from 3.4 billion in 2016 to 4.2 billion in 2020, and is expected to increase by an additional 4.9%, attaining $5.3 billion by 2025. RFP was established in 2008, where it processed its own line of food along with several other brands. In 2017, processing operation was sold, as Roxanne was going to go to a semi-retirement and just run the Raw for Pets store in St. Thomas. The retail store continued to purchase from the processing plant that she had sold, which eventually was purchased out by a large corporation and was more interested in the profits, and the quality was not at the level that RFP had required. In 2019, RFP started a new processing facility in order to ensure that the customers were getting the level of quality Roxanne had built her company on. Learning from previous experience, this time around, we're going to sell our product through qualified stores that understands the benefits of raw food. This helps to ensure that the pets are getting the correct products and help them to live the longest, healthiest life possible. RFP is a one-of-a-kind pet food business like no other, offering only top-of-the-line products coupled with extensive professional knowledge and experience in the raw diets and animal health. RFP has a clinical, holistic pet nutritionists on staff and are sought after for consultations by several pet rescue facilities as well as veterinarians on a regular basis. This service is also available to all the stores RFP distributes to. Marbles was taken in by a local pet rescue about 6 years ago. After 8 months of trying, the vet said there was nothing more they could do. Roxanne then was contacted for a solution. After 6 weeks of RFP diet and supplements, Marble had a new lease on life and has not looked back since. RFP has a wide variety of blended proteins as well as single proteins to address any sensitivity a pet may have, along with a wide variety of health supplements, endless variety of treats for all pets, sizes, and needs. Bring your pet in. Days will be set up at all rotating schedule throughout the stores that we supply to. This is going to allow for people to bring their pets in for our nutritionalists to evaluate their pets. Our current facility cannot handle the rapid growth that is anticipated. Temporary fixes are being put in place until the new facility can be set up. With the increase of pets, the demand of pet food in general increases. But as more health issues surface due to the low quality food being sold, there will be a higher demand for people with the knowledge on how to correct these issues. Of our top 3 competitors, none of them have nutritionists on staff, and fillers are being used to increase the profit points. Dog owners that have converted to RFP have noticed improvements in their dogs within 1 week. Our foods consist of a well-balanced blends calculated by our in-house clinical holistic pet nutritionalist. We have on all natural healthy dehydrated pet treats, as well as a full line of ground meats, meat mixes for both cats as well as dogs. We also have a full line of supplements to help with any different health issues that may come out. Our short-term goals are to triple our profits by 2023, to introduce the new natural raw diet into qualified retail stores across Ontario, to improve the current flow of our plant, as well as to set up demo days at the different retail stores that we set up. With our long-term goals is to build a new facility, start a marketing campaign, attending pet shows as well as special events across Ontario. And we'd like to get into sponsoring youth sporting teams. Growth will be controlled by current production capability of our ability to store both raw and the processed food. We are planning on a 10% growth in the first quarter of 2022, increasing to a 30% growth by the fourth quarter of 2022. This will be done by the means of going across Ontario looking for qualified stores in prime areas. In 2020, we supplied 3 stores and had 8 local distributors. In the second half of 2021, 5 additional stores have been added onto our roster. All suppliers are local, federally, or provincially inspected for human consumption grade facilities. Over the years, we have built a strong partnership with several local meat suppliers and worked with them to ensure that our production needs can be met. By dealing with multiple local suppliers allows us to pull from a secondary local supplier if one of our original suppliers cannot make the demands for the week. We offer half pound, 1 pound, 2 pound, 15 pound, and 30 pound containers to allow different sizes of dogs as well as different quantities of dogs in each home. We use containers with sealed and recycled plastic to help keep it easy to handle and help the environment at the same time. Freezers and coolers are at their maximum capacity. The plant is located in Belmont. Our store is in St. Thomas on First Ave, and our offices are located on Madame Street in St. Thomas. For a temporary fix, we are putting an add-on onto the current freezer and putting shelving into the cooler so we can stack higher, as well as renting a refrigerated truck during production days. The new facility will consist of both a drive-in freezer and a drive-in cooler, a dehydrated section, multiple storage areas, preparation and packaging areas, as well as a lunchroom and offices. A small store will be put on the front and loading docks for wholesales and pickups. With an estimated completion cost of around $700,000, this will be a major project. By placing our store, plant, and offices in the same location will help to reduce the day-to-day costs, as well as to help save us time so we can concentrate more on growing the business. Sorry. Based on a 10% profit margin of sales with anticipated sales growth by 2022 by 10% in the first quarter, 15% in the second quarter, 25% on the third quarter, and 30% on the fourth quarter, allowing only a 5% growth for the years of 2023 to 2026. The new facility could be paid for by the end of 2026. The impact on the community will include increase of staff in both the plant and the store, delivery drivers, as well as our sales staff. Additional RFP pet nutritionals will be trained, additional vehicles and marketing material, increase of the utilities and service, as well as the increase of the products being delivered to the other stores. And more products will be purchased in and brought from our local suppliers. We're also planning on sponsoring local youth sports teams, as this is a personal goal of Roxanne and myself, as we have 7 kids and 7 grandkids between us that are both all heavily involved in the sports in the local programs. Plus, we cannot forget healthier pets across Ontario. In summary, plans to separate the processing plant from the retail store, upgrade the processing plant to handle increase in production, increase the number of stores that we're wholesaling to, hold special event days at stores for where we wholesale to logo our vehicles, attend dog shows and special events, buy a vacant lot, and build a new processing facility. Raw for pets, because you want your pets to live the longest, healthiest life possible. True dat.
Oh, don't go away yet. At this point, we get to have our judges each ask you a question. So, Kevin has a hand up, and we'll just go down the line.
Yep. Great. Great job. Great start. Well prepared. I have 2 questions for you. You mentioned retailers and proper retailers. I don't know the exact phraseology you used. Did I hear it correct? Do you have 8 retailers right now in the region? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So with those 8 retailers, how do you expect you've got some pretty lofty goals there with increases. How many more retailers will you need in order to reach those types of goals?
The intention is we're going to have we're hoping to have another 20 to 30 retail stores added on by the end of this year.
Okay. And will they be mostly in Elgin County or elsewhere?
Actually, it's going to be right across Ontario.
Okay. All right. And my other question is simple. You're looking at building a new facility. Do you have currently a location for that facility, and is it going to be in Elgin County as well?
At this point, we're hoping to be around the St. Thomas area as close as possible.
Okay.
At this point, though, finding a new facility and location has been a lot harder task than we had anticipated. So at this point, we do not have a set location.
Okay. But your ultimate goal in life is to build it here in Elgin County.
If I could build it here in St. Thomas, then we would have the store that would actually relocate right and stay within the St. Thomas area.
Good answer. All right. Super. I'll turn it over to you, Sam.
Which is fine. But it was a good question, so I'm glad you asked it. Thank you very much. Tom, really great job. Great presentation. A nod to my FM at your start there. I recognized it immediately, so great job. I have kind of 2 questions, but maybe it's all in one. How are you currently marketing your brand?
So currently the marketing is fairly simple. My son is actually going around to the different stores and is talking about it. He is taking over social media for us, so that he has a better understanding it, and we're anticipating that he'll be able to be a strong asset to us to help us increase on that. We did run the ad on the local radio station. The intention is to going forward, we would like to increase our presence with different commercials, as well as, like I said, logo the vehicle up and to attend different shows and stuff.
Right. And then just to add on to that, where do you think you need to do a better job with your brand, meaning location? So obviously, your local shoppers here in St. Thomas specifically, but outside of Elgin County, do you have strong brand awareness? And if not, where do you think that you can do a better job?
Okay, so our brand awareness at this point has been mostly done by word of mouth. So people that have started buying our product and they go along and they tell their friends, they tell their friends. We have as far up as Minden that we deliver a truckload up that way. once a month. We do have a couple deliveries down Ottawa, Montreal. We are expanding again by word of mouth at this point. We are looking for, in the next year, to start a major campaigning. Like I said, my son, no pressure on Andrew, is to go out and actually market the brand a lot more. Also getting into the different stores that we set up. We have a Bring Your Pet In Day in. When we do that, we market for in that area. And then like I said, we bring our nutritionalists on site and people can bring their pets in, and we will also have free samples of stuff for people to try the product at the different locations.
Great, great. Good job. Thanks very much.
Tom did a great job. A lot
Thank
of
you.
great information on there, man. The screen was flying, so sometimes it's hard to pick up on some details. But I guess the question that I would have for you today, are you a nutritionalist yourself?
No, actually, my background is automotive.
Okay, awesome.
I'm just happen to be marrying into the business.
Very good. Well, I mean, you're up here today, so the question then for you is, if you were to sell me raw pet food that I should be giving to my dog, what's that pitch? I mean, I'm not very familiar with raw pet food. We feed our dog dry pet food. What's the pitch there? What's the nutritional value?
So the big difference is, like if you've seen on the slide there when I had the picture of Marbles, that's a prime example. She was a 2-year-old dog that was fed on kibble. And then the slide that was after that was also, if you'd looked at it, most of those were cases of the dogs that were on kibble have been converted over into the raw, and see a significant difference. Roxanne started off with breeding dogs. She raised German Shepherds and found that the dogs on an average lived to be 8 to 10 years of age. By switching and starting producing the raw food for her dogs, they average 15 to 18 years of age. I don't know if you remember the 2 dogs in the end there, True and Dat. Dat is actually a year old and True is 8.5. And you put them out in the back and the 8.5-year-old could keep up with the pup. And you could see a difference. Big difference is if you look at the dog's eyes.
Yeah.
They come to life really fast. We're working with a German Shepherd currently right now in London that, you can see the before and after, and within a week, you can see a difference in the dog's eye. They sparkle more.
So you have that real example, that real data right in front of you. Is there any science behind it that you can show as part of your marketing? Is that something like, where did Roxanne get this idea to let's start feed the dogs raw food?
So she started with it when she started on the kibble. She started having different health issues. So she started experimenting with the raw food, started doing the study on it. She actually went and she has taken the different college courses and has done some extensive studying on the raw. So when it comes down to the health issues, no, I'm not the person that is going to be asked. It will be Roxanne. Roxanne is a little camera shy, therefore that's why I'm standing up here. But when it comes down to it, when it is, she is, like I said, she knows the stuff off the top of her head. She can diagnose a dog usually by somebody's description on it. Her daughter is also a nutritionalist, as well as her sister. So we do have other ones that we do it, not at the level that Roxanne is as of yet. And Roxanne is working to train the others, which apparently I'm going to be learning a new occupation as well.
Awesome. No, that answers my question. Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you.
Presentation. So I have 3 questions, if I may. So holding on to your current customers, I would imagine is important if you're trying to grow that base.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So how do you have any ideas on, is there like a customer loyalty program, or do they get like, I'm throwing it out there, buy 10 bags, get 2 free? Is that?
So initially we had the loyalty program where if you bought bulk pails, and after so many bulk pails, you got a free bulk pail. We've actually upgraded that recently on the website so that all products that you purchase, you get a point system that goes to the loyalty. And then that point system could be used at a later date towards any product that we sell.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. And can you talk about the number of staff that you may hire this year if you go through your increase with the production?
Well, currently right now we have 4 people at the plant and 3 at the store, 1 sales plus Roxanne and myself. The intention would be is if we triple production at the plant, We're going to have to probably at minimum double the staff at the plant. We are looking at, to increase rapid growth on that, we're probably looking at 2 to 3 salesperson on the road. Roxanne and I would like to step back a little bit, so that would also mean bringing more staff on to replace the work that we're doing. Realistically, we're hoping to have over an additional 15 to 20 personnel, including delivery drivers as well.
My last question, thank you. My last question is, so what would you do if you won this contest with the money? How would it change your business?
Well, that would go a long ways towards our marketing campaign, because that's right now where we are lacking. So it would be a matter of getting out there, getting the word out, being able to run the commercials, to be able to go out and actually have the different events that we can go out and analyze to make people aware of the benefits of the dog, and done by our actual nutritionalist. So it's actual factual as opposed to somebody's opinion.
Thank you.
Yes.
We're
Yeah,
good.
thank you.
Thanks.
Very good.
Excellent job. So, judges, great questions. Our next finalist presenting tonight is Jame Patriquin from Simply Pure. Jame, come on up.
Thank you. Good evening, judges. It's an honor and privilege to be here this evening and present to you. My name is Jame Patriquin. I'm a wife, mother, and a grandmother. I am also a strong businesswoman and a proud community partner. I'm here tonight because I need your help in making an impact in Elgin County and increasingly beyond. Okay, my husband and I are the proud owners of Simply Pure Water, a local business that has been providing water treatment and drinking water solutions for St. Thomas and the surrounding area for over 21 years. Our delivery division is out 5 days a week, serving both residential and commercial customers, and currently employs 1 delivery driver. As a certified Indigenous-owned business, we provide clean drinking water to the 3 local Indigenous communities that shamefully continue to be on long-term boil water advisories. I joined my husband back in 2019 when he bought out his business partners who were ready to retire. My primary role in the business is to manage our storefront retail. These past few years have been both challenging and rewarding as we've navigated our way through this pandemic. We knew we'd have to dig deep and get creative in order to, push through these unprecedented times. Thanks to the incredible support of our community, that's exactly what we did. I'm so proud to say that not only we survived these times, but we kicked butt. And we've seen an increase in sales in our storefront alone of 42% last year. This growth is from a combination of increasing our community involvement and supporting as many local initiatives as possible. Moreover, we've expanded and created a local love section, which features a variety of local produced products such as Wildflowers Farm, Palmer's Maple Syrup, Las Chicas del Cafe, all of which have been a huge hit in our store. We have also worked very closely with our local radio station, MyFM, to build strong marketing campaigns, as well as sought out help to learn how to utilize our social media platforms. But like all business owners, we are always looking to expand and grow and add value to our community. And this is the reason I am here this evening. I am proud to introduce to you the newest addition to our business, our zero waste refillery. Refilling, so for years we have been taught to reduce, reuse, and recycle. Sadly, recycling plastic is just not efficient anymore. It's reported that over 90% of recycled plastics end up in our landfills or in our oceans. What our focus needs to be is reduce, reuse, refill. Refilling has been at the heart of Simply Pure Water since its inception. I'm a slide behind. Since our inception, customers bring in their empty water jugs to be filled with pure water rather than purchasing cases of disposable plastic bottles from the supermarket. Since 2000, over 36 million single-use plastics have been diverted from the landfill from customers choosing to refill rather than landfill. Seeing the positive impact our little businesses made on the environment, we decided we needed to do more, as well as have the talent and the tenacity to do more. So in August of 2021, we introduced our zero waste refillery and brought in a small line of Canadian-sourced, eco-friendly, refillable household cleaning, laundry, and personal care products, which would not only make a positive impact on our environment and our community, but also help us grow our business. Just like with the water jugs, our customers bring in empty jars, jugs, and containers to be filled with as much or as little product as needed. Allowing the customer to reduce their carbon footprint while also saving money by not paying for the cost of the container time and time again. The refillery is quickly gaining momentum and has proven to be the perfect fit to our business. We have made sustainability accessible, and the response has been overwhelming from our community. We are seeing new faces every day on varying degrees of the zero waste journey. From the first timer asking where to begin to the zero waste veteran who knows the routine and is just happy to have somewhere local to fill. I love that we've brought this to our location, and I feel proud every time I see somebody walk through the door with an empty container, just knowing that that container right there is not headed to the landfill. In addition, our customers are loving the products. And what's not to love about a product that works so incredibly well, saves us money, and contributes to a healthier planet? The kitchen and bathroom cleaner, which is my personal favorite, has replaced the Comet, Bleach, Mr. Clean, and even the Magic Eraser from my house. And it has quite literally simplified my cleaning process at home. And as a mother of 4, that's a big deal. Customers are actually loving the product so much that I continue to receive before and after photos because they are blown away by the results of this chemical-free product. Our laundry soap, which is another top seller, is being bought up so quickly that we've had to increase our supply in order to keep up. What seemed like forever to go through that first 20 liters of laundry soap has become a must order every 2 weeks. Hearing all the positive feedback about our product makes me very proud to have taken the time to find the right supplier for our business. Not only do our suppliers provide a quality product, but they take responsibility for their containers from the beginning to the end of their life cycle. In other words, when our customers refill, we do as well. Our customers pick up our empty jugs which are then cleaned and refilled, creating a closed loop system, which is very important to us and is very sadly not common practice in this industry. Since launching the refillery in August, we have been able to hire an additional team member and are actively hiring for another right now. We've already recovered all of our initial investment and are seeing a steady 15% increase in sales month over month. Plus, with the launch of our new website, refillnotlandfill.ca, which allows customers to order online for in-store pickup, curbside, or home delivery, our hope is to see those numbers climb as we reach a larger market. I believe that we have uncovered a market in our area for zero waste products. And with little competition, I feel that we've seized this opportunity at exactly the right moment. And now is the time for us to take the refillery to the next level. Over the next few months, we'll be working with local contractors and designers to help renovate and expand our existing space. The goal is to create a stylish, modern shopping experience that currently doesn't exist in our area for both the environmentally concerned as well as the convenience-seeking customers. By bringing in a much larger selection of refillable products, including cleaning vinegars, toothpaste, sunscreen, bug spray, as well as a full line of eco-friendly, plastic-free alternatives such as beeswax wraps, safety razors, bamboo products, reusable lunchware, to name a few. Our goal is to become St. Thomas's first one-stop shop for eco-living and truly separate ourselves from our competition. Naturally, we don't plan on stopping here. So our next step is to create a bulk business. We plan to hire a dedicated salesperson to head out into our community and work with local businesses to purchase bulk cleaning products in us. This will offer the businesses the opportunity to reduce their carbon footprint while also reducing their costs. As our home delivery and commercial program grows, we will be investing in a second delivery vehicle and hiring an additional delivery driver. These are our future staff. We have built something great here, and we truly are only at the beginning of this, as the possibilities are endless. We have sparked the conversation around zero waste. We have empowered our customers and our community by providing a place where they can make a direct impact easily and affordably. We are creating jobs and strengthening our community, one plastic container at a time. Judges, I'm asking for your help. Award us this year's pitch winners and allow us access to this incredible prize pack. And I can assure you, we will not disappoint. We will maximize on this opportunity to the fullest. And when you look back at this moment, years from now, I'm confident that you will feel proud to have been played a part of this moment. As you're not just investing in Simply Pure Water, you're investing in the health and well-being of our community and our planet. Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you.
You're fine. I have more of a comment than a question, actually.
Okay.
I think that what you're doing with the zero waste, the refilling, that whole part of your business is absolutely fantastic. And I hope that it continues to be a great success for you, because
Thank you so much.
we need more places that are willing to bite the bullet and do that. I do have a part of a question from that.
Okay.
You talked about an increase in sales as you've gone through, and its projections are up. Those are, of course, top line sales. So that's good.
Yes.
What I'm hoping you're going to tell me is that your bottom line after expenses is equally healthy, because I know that this sounds like it's quite a bit of retooling for your operation, and I just wondered how that was all panning out. How's the bottom line as we go forward?
Are you referring to like what it is that we've invested in?
Well, basically, you're looking at your top line sales, and then your bottom line being like, what is your profit? What's your net after expenses? Are you doing well that way at this point, this early in the game?
Yes, we absolutely are. Actually, it's far beyond what I ever would have imagined. I'm very proud to say that it was, to be honest, very little investment and very low risk to get into originally. Okay. And there's ways to get very involved in it. We're not quite there yet, although we're heading that way. But we're very fortunate. There's a pretty good markup in this industry. And we've found the company that backs us up and has been full supportive along the way. We are also very blessed that we are already there. We're already an existing business.
Right.
So we don't have the same the overhead expenses as some existing or some newer businesses have. Yeah. I am quite literally there every day anyway. People are coming through our doors, and we are very fortunate to be able to maximize on our wonderful clientele that we've built up over those 21 years.
Great.
I'm not sure that I answered that question very well.
You did just fine.
Okay.
You did fine. And the only other thing I want to say is, I know that you and your company are very active in the community, community partners, you're visible, and that's an exceptional way to drive business forward. So good on you.
Thank you. And we plan to continue to do that and more.
I have two questions. Kevin didn't steal any this time, so that's great. My question is, where are you sourcing your products and the containers from?
Absolutely. So our company that we deal with is Pure Bio, and they are based out of Montreal. Our distributor, however, is out of Toronto. It was very difficult to find a local supplier that believes in the closed loop system. So we went through dozens of different suppliers till we found that person. As far as their products, it's an all-natural, plant-based product. I don't know a whole lot on their end other than they are well-renowned all across Canada, well-recognized business. And I invite you to certainly check out our website, and they have direct links that we put you to their website as well. So perfect. Did I answer that?
Yes, okay. Great. Yep. And then your containers, is it a bring your own currently, or are you supplying containers as well?
So of course, we do encourage people to bring their own. That is the idea behind it. But naturally, we do supply containers as well. Yep. Absolutely. They're always there. And then we've also got this neat little system, and it's called Previously Loved Jugs. So if somebody forgets their jugs and they don't want to pay for the cost of buying one with our label on it, then we have Previously Loved Jugs, which have been sanitized easily. We're getting lots of mason jars, which are my favorite, and that's been very popular. So they generally will fill theirs up today, and next time they come in with their empty and bring an empty. So it's a great system, and I love seeing it happening. It is hard because we don't have our name on those jugs, but we're working on that.
Right. Who do you want your brand to become famous with?
Ooh. Well, David Suzuki would be great. I do believe in a lot of what he does, and I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that, but yes, I want to.
So your target demo, ideally, who do you want your brand to become a household name with? Who is the person that swears by your product, swears by your location?
Absolutely.
Who are they and what do they look like?
You got it. So our target market absolutely is, we are looking at moms, mothers, and we are looking at ages generally about 35 and up. We are seeing a lot of younger families that are concerned about our future. They are concerned about what their children are bathing in, what their children are shampooing with, what they're spraying within their house. We're seeing a lot of that. And they are also the same ones that are writing the reviews and sharing on social media. So although we're getting a lot of older groups of people, these individuals are helping us grow because they are in the mindset of share, tell, and we're not an inconvenience to them. So they love having somewhere local. And many of these people have been going to different cities to get this product. So it's exciting, and they're excited to find us here in St. Thomas.
Right.
So,
Perfect. Thank you.
thank you.
Jette, you did an awesome job. Really excited about
Thank
the business
you.
you have here. I think the timing of it is very well. Like, I mean, with everything going on, it's just well timed in terms of finding this adjustment. So the question I have for you, though, there's a couple. You say right now you don't really have any main competitors who are doing this. Would you identify anyone as a competitor right now?
Absolutely, I can. So naturally, Bulk Barn has been bulk filling for many years. Of course, it's a different system, and it's not a bring in your own container, but they've certainly led the way in this. And then we also have another local business, Given, which has a small selection of refillable products as well. And I think she's done a fantastic job of establishing her customer base. However, because of our long-time business in the community, we have a lot of different faces and people walking through the door. I think we complement each other very well. But I think because this is what we do and it is the core of our business, refilling, reuse, recycle, I think we have a great opportunity to grow beyond what Given is able to at this time.
That makes
So,
sense, yeah. And I can perhaps answers a little bit my second question, but you alluded to the cost to entry of this being, pretty economical and easy for you guys to kind of expand and grow. So I suppose, how are you protecting your company from having more competition, and how are you differentiating yourself by the low cost barrier to enter?
Exactly. And so, yes, it is low cost relatively, but it's still in a big investment. So it's not easy peasy for just anybody, right? Again, we have the upper hand of not having to pay for a brick and mortar place. We already are out in the community and have our voice and have a foundation that we've been able to work on. So that small amount that we had to invest is far less than somebody else that's just starting this industry. They have a long way to go before they can get to that. The other part of that is we're a family of 6, so the investment coupled with, if it doesn't work, we're set for shampoo and conditioner for the rest of our life, right? So it was worth taking that investment. So yes, and then again, when I was talking about with the expansion that we're looking at doing over the next few months, that's going to really truly separate us, because now we're not just bits and pieces of this. We are a full one-stop shop for eco-living. So having it's more convenient having more product in one location, as well as we are going to be investing in a compressor system, which a lot of people aren't going to be willing to invest that kind of money into a compressor system. But it takes the refills from a very slow process to like seconds. And I think that's going to be a difference maker, because a lot of businesses when they're first starting out are just not going to have that capital to invest in a compressor system. And when you're pouring 500 mils of conditioner, you'll appreciate the compressor system.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yes.
No, I answered my question great. And I think the other component in my brain was wondering, so what happens if Walmart goes and does this? But I think the answer to my question is people won't believe that the heart of sustainability is there, where I think that's part of your story, is that it's believable that you do care about sustainability.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. And to that, I mean, Walmart also sells water refills.
yeah,
And I believe we're kicking their butt.
good.
Right?
Keep kicking their
So,
butt.
Yes. I think our community are so St. Thomas proud and so focused on shopping local. And we've definitely seen more and more of that over the pandemic. And I think that one thing that's going to come from this pandemic is the people's ability to look past the big convenient supermarkets and look at, the heart of our community, which is those small businesses. So, yes. All right. Thank
Great,
you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you.
Good presentation. So I have 3 questions. So take me back to August 2021.
Sure.
So at that time, you would have had the water refill business.
That's correct.
And then today, so how much of your business would be water refill and how much the
refillery?
Yeah.
So I would say the storefront, speaking only the storefront, the retail storefront, we'll exclude the delivery division as well as the water treatment. I would say that we're still at about 80% water and about 20% refillery customers. And that number is getting more and more equal as more and more of our water refill customers become refillery customers. So, yes, it's incredible what we're seeing every day with these people that are just so willing to try something new and are enjoying the product.
I also seen Butter Me Up soap that you
Yes.
had a picture there. Do you partner with other merchants and with natural products?
I am, and that is my ultimate goal. I would love it if we found a supplier more locally that is able to make me these bulk products with the same quality and the same closed loop system. Butter Me Up soap company, when I first started the research and the learning the market on a refillery, it was a new language to me, but I went to Barb at Butter Me Up, and she was a great resource for me to kind of get my ground on where I needed to get going, how I kind of got started, learn the language. And I love her product and I love what she does. It's fantastic. But with her, she's still a smaller business and I don't know that she wants to commit to that large of an get that committed to buying, in bulk. So I do support her in different products that I can and that there's a good markup on. And hopefully that grows as more and more people get on this zero waste movement.
Thank you.
All right. That too, you don't need
Yep.
to. You're good? Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jamie. Our next presentation will be James Jette of Dynamic Pump Solutions. Welcome, James.
Imagine you're sitting down right now to a delicious spaghetti dinner made with local products. A glass of, as you can see, Railway City beer from Railway City Brewery, Parmesan cheese, and pasta sauce locally from the superstore, filtered water from Simply Pure Water, tomatoes, sausage, fresh pasta from Ireland. You enjoying this pasta, and the thought occurs to you, how is this food manufactured? How is it made? Well, there's one thing they all have in common. They all used pumps in the process. For example, the beer would use a foods grade end suction pump. The Parmesan cheese would use a sine pump. The pasta sauce would use a low pump, and the Simply Pure Water will be using what is called an NSF61 pump. When you get onto the sausage, use a vertically orientated low pump, and of course the pasta, the paste would be pumped by a twin screw pump. So while you're done with dinner and you're washing your dishes, you think, where does all this water come from that's coming out of the tap? And here's another thing. Pumps. And here we have a picture of the Elgin County water plant on Dexter Line. So the typical water plant can have anywhere from 30 to 100 pumps. And these pumps in this picture are pumping from the Elgin County plant to the Edgeware, just down the street from here, storage facility. In that plant, there are multiple pumps that pump out to Elgin County, Aylmer, and all the way to Bayham County, and then up to London. Where I'm going with this. So after you're done relaxing, you've had your dinner, you're sitting down having a nice cup of Las Chicas coffee, and the urge fits you. And you wonder, where does the wastewater treatment go? Well, obviously, pumps. So here's a picture of the St. Thomas wastewater treatment plant. So wastewater treatment is the largest user of pumps in the world. The average plant can have 50 to 200 pumps or more. In Elgin County, there are 9 sewage treatment plant facilities along with multiple pumping stations. Overall in Canada, there are over 16,000 wastewater treatment plants. So you can kind of see how that number builds up very quickly. Now I want to talk a little bit about myself. I always want to say, I've been in this business for 30 years. I'm the owner of Dynamic Pump Solutions. I've been working in the pump industry for multiple high-end manufacturers. I also have a licensed industrial millwright and a technical degree in electronics. Just a quick little thing. The pump next to me, that is from the City of Halifax wastewater treatment plant. That is a 650 horsepower submersible. And I had the luxury of rebuilding this one and 3 other ones after the big flood in 2009. So while working for these companies, I have received factory training from different manufacturers. BGM and Stancor pump, ABS Sulcer pump, KSB pumps, and I'll have to say yay, Gorman Rupp pumps in St. Thomas, along with that Moino pumps. I have also had sales training with multiple manufacturers. I want to talk a little bit about the company. Dynamic Pump Solutions is a small family-owned company based in St. Thomas, Ontario. We specialize in the service and sales of pumps, pump parts, and accessories. We were founded in October of 2020. I want to talk about some pump statistics. So there are about $66 billion a year used in the pump industry in North America. That statistic, they're looking at 5.7% increase in the annual growth over the next 5 years. Now, just to summarize this quickly, pumps can be found anywhere in homes, high-rises, schools, food processing plant, factories, plumbing stations, water and wastewater treatment plants. As a matter of fact, for most items in your house, there's a pump involved somewhere in the manufacturing of that product. So let's talk about dollars and cents here for a minute. I have a list of local pump companies in Ontario. We'll start with Jette Fluid Systems. They have 1 location, 8 employees, founded in 1988, about $2.1 million per year. Metropolitan Pump, which just moved from Waterloo to Cambridge. They have 1 location, 5 employees. They make about $2.3 million a year. Windsor Pump, 2 locations, 12 employees, $5.7 million per year. Prospect Technologies is the first company I worked for in Ontario. 1 location, 12 employees, $6.1 million per year. And finally, one of the bigger pump companies, NatPro Inc., 8 locations, 152 employees, about $42 million per year. we're hoping to get to that point in 5 or 6 years from now. That would be one of our goals. Next thing I want to talk about is what is holding us back in the industry. Right now, the biggest thing that's holding back is lack of funding and credit. We found that it takes about 3 years for a business to build a credit with companies, with banks, and of course, with your vendors. We're dealing that right now by charging customers 50% deposits on any new pumps and repaying payment in full on large order. So far, because of COVID, customers not repaying and they're paying. They haven't had any issues whatsoever. One problem we also ran into is no municipal insurance due to COVID. Basically, any new startup that has started since 2019 is not able to get municipal insurance for service in the municipal industry. Existing businesses were allowed to continue using their insurance, but a new company could not. That recently has changed, and now I can get insurance for our company. Unfortunately, it's very expensive at this time. Right now, we are concentrating on industrial and food service sales. With the plan, as company grows with the funding, we will be upstepping onto the municipal insurance. One of the other problems we ran into is due to the industrial lockdown is that there has been a shortage of business and sales and also service because most of the companies that use pumps are shut down. This is changing very quickly. In the last 2 months, we've seen more business than all of last year. But we've been doing this. We found out that the 2 companies that have not been shut down, the municipal water, wastewater, and the food industry. We have been concentrating most of our business into the food industry quite successfully. And the last issue I've been running into is that Elgin County, there is a shortage of industrial space. Of course, with the line of business I'm doing, it must be industrial zoned. We have been dealing this very simply by doing on-site repairs and service and drop shipping new pumps directly to the customer. So, in closing, very quickly, what we're actually looking for to expand our business, and we're looking for about $150,000 over the next 3 years. This money will be used for shop lease, purchasing shop equipment, leasing a truck or a delivery van, and hiring employees. We would need multiple employees over the time. 1 minute left, and then we're pretty much done. So, and at this point, I'm going to say, any questions?
Great. Super. You talked about some pretty large growth plans. You showed many
Right.
other organizations that have been around quite a bit longer and so on.
Right.
And you did sort of concentrate on some of the things that have been tough. And trust me, I know better than anyone how bad COVID has affected business in small, medium, and large businesses across this country, across the world. So I get that. But what are your plans? Like, how do you plan to grow? So let's just say you got that $150,000. What are your actual tangible plans? Do you have a marketing plan? What does it look like?
Well, a marketing plan, we've basically been using LinkedIn in a combination with emailing and direct marketing through direct emails and door-to-door sales, actually, which, a lot of people say cold calling is dead, but I've had really good success. My biggest sales to date have all been door-to-door sales, just dropping off my business card. Cold calling customers I've never been to before. Down the road, our first hire is going to be an outside salesperson so that I can concentrate more on the building of the business and the training of new employees. One of my competitive advantage I have as I've been a trainer for several large companies in the pump business, so training of mechanics, and training of salespeople in the different products.
All right. And the second question, just real quick. You are you do not have another technician that really, at this time, that knows pumps or is experienced in pumps. Is that correct, or did I miss something there?
I have people that work directly for me. They work as a subcontractor.
Okay.
I have several technicians. I have electricians.
Okay. I was just thinking in terms of a risk management. If something were to happen to you, that you got ill for a while, do you have somebody that can maintain this business going forward?
Yeah, I also have 3 sons who are up in the training department. They're
Okay. Sounds good.
now, but in a couple of years, they're going to be there taking over.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm hoping you can identify for me your ideal customer. Who are those people you're cold calling?
Well, my ideal customer could be any plant that has multiple pumps in it. For example, I'm working right now trying to get a contract with a company, Canco, who makes all the tomato-based products. The former Heinz facility, but now they've kind of moved away from not making as much tomato sauce and ketchup as they used to. Now they're making things like Tostito salsa.
Yeah.
And they have about 80 pumps in their facility that have to be rebuilt on a standard basis because they are food grade. And is basically wanting to send me 5 pumps at a time. So that's an ideal customer for me.
Great. And then would you be focusing on, or are they equally important in the growth of your business, the manufacturing and creation of the pump itself or the service and repair?
I would be working on sales of new equipment, service and repair, and then down the road, the building of pump systems. So quite often pumps are sold with all the gauges and hoses and everything and the motor all on as a system with control panel. So that would be the next step in growth down the road once we have a facility.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. So I guess my main question that I have for you right now is, where are you operating out of currently?
Right now, I am working, I just have a home office here in St. Thomas, and all the work is being done directly on the customer's site.
Awesome. So then your plans would be to grow and build your own facility or lease your own facility as you grow.
Exactly.
Yeah. So then your current sales, what would you have that pegged at? And do you have goals for next year?
Well, right now, because of COVID, last year was dismal, obviously. This year, we've already hit about 70,000 in sales in the last 5 months. Our goal for the end of the year, we about 250,000 this year. And once we establish a shop, I see no reason why we can't pull in $750,000 to $1 million next year.
Correct. Yeah. And did you have a main supplier? Like you sell these pumps.
I
but
have
who's your main supplier?
Right now I have 4 major suppliers that I am allowed to sell from, and I also can purchase from third party. It's one of the advantages I have is because none of my suppliers are exclusive, so that I can offer any brand or any model pump. I can source it and deliver it to the customer.
Excellent.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great presentation. So my question is you mentioned you're taking 50% deposit on the large orders. Would you like to change that to be just the cost of the equipment, or how would that allow you to grow?
It wouldn't be, obviously, I would really like it to be able to offer the customer 30 days grace, which is what all my competitors do. But because of COVID, all of the vendors are charging me 50% up front. They're not offering credit to anybody. Now, I'm sure in the next couple of years that will change and it will go back to the way it was before. The biggest issue we're running in with that is supply and demand. There just isn't a lot of materials out there right now, and one thing I can do is I can source multiple companies. The biggest sale I've done to date right now was a vacuum pump for a company. They had a vacuum pump that had failed. They went to the manufacturer of that pump, and it was going to be 20 weeks for a new pump. They went to another pump, and they were 12 weeks. I was able to call around to all of the vacuum pump companies, and I found one that was in stock and was able to deliver it by the end of the week. Customer was up and running and happy as can be. Okay.
And my second question, your location, how much your timing of that this year and how much you want to bring, it's easier to bring the pumps into your location, work on them, and then deliver them to the customer versus shipping direct? Is that?
Yes. It also, right now I have to subcontract a lot of the services.
Okay.
Where if I had a location and can then purchase the machinery myself, as an industrial millwright, I can operate most machinery. This would cut down expenses big time, which of course means more profit. Once I have a facility, I'll be able to have my own sandblaster. Right now I have to ship it to, there's a sandblaster right in Aylmer. I have to send everything over there. Things like machining work, which I have to outsource, can be done in-house. It would make a huge difference. Also, I would be able to handle more product at a time. Right now, I'm at a 1 or 2 pump at a time basis, where I would be able to work on multiple pumps at the same time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, James. Good questions again. You guys have done this before. So our next contestant, finalist to make his presentation or his pitch is Markus Hawco from the Icebox. Markus, come on up.
Thank you, judges. My name is Markus Hawco. I am the owner of the Icebox. I'm an accountant by day and a future ice cream mogul by night, and a self-said comedian sometimes. So if you would chuckle sometimes, that would be greatly appreciated for my nerves. So I appreciate that. A little bit about the history of the Icebox and everything about us. After pitching the idea to my wife about 4 times, she finally agreed and we opened up in 2020. We started off by offering frozen yogurt and Shaw's ice cream in our humble abode, as you can see here. We grew and started off in the first year by winning Best New Business through the MyFM Spirit Awards, and really told us that we had something going and we knew kind of what we were doing off the get-go with it. We grew into that by introducing green innovative practices like our mason jar program, where you're able to get your ice cream in a mason jar to offset the cup wastage, which has saved us over 30,000 cups to date with that. And we've also developed the first of its kind in Ontario, a fully solar powered ice cream trailer, so we can go to events and have no carbon impact whatsoever. In 2021, we've also won the Favorite Ice Cream Shop from MyFM Spirit Awards, as well as the Green Innovation Award from the London Economy Network. We were a finalist for the Merchandiser Excellence Award from Ontario Made, and we were an Impact Award finalist with the St. Thomas Chamber of Commerce. So needless to say that we have been showing that we know what we're doing and that we're continuing to grow greatly. And we've just launched last fall our very own ice cream and gelato, which we proudly source with 80% local ingredients to Elgin County, which includes all the inclusions and everything that kind of goes into it. So the proposal that I'm bringing forward to you today is a way for us to bring our ice cream, not just coming to the retail front, but going more out there in a more versatile and unique way, which would be using an ice cream truck, but in the form of an ambulance, a decommissioned ambulance. Now, the reason for saying why are we taking a decommissioned ambulance is because they are extremely versatile for the fact that they have their own motor and they're able to maneuver around. Right now, with a 16-foot ice cream trailer and a 4-foot Ram 1500 courtesy of Elgin Chrysler, we have the impracticability that we can't go to a lot of events with it because of just space requirements, all that good stuff. So something like this that fits into a normal parking spot allows us to get into a lot more. The unique design is an eye catcher. As long as we change the lights so that we're not blue and red anymore, we can attract people in by coming to it saying, what's that flashing over there? And going, oh my God, it's ice cream. Yeah, I'll get 1 scoop for sure. And as well, we're getting off on the right start because ambulances, when they are retired, right up their entire use, they're very well maintained by their municipality and by their county. They don't cheap out on any of the maintenance and that. They have to and regulated, and they have to decommission them once they hit a certain kilometer a year mark, so you know what you're getting under the hood. There's no, okay, was that a cheap owner or was that a thorough one and that kind of stuff. You know what you're getting. So it's use. We really want to hit up now with, and there's a roaring demand for all of the events to come back to Elgin County. We have been asked already to come out to the Elmer Tractor Pull, the Elmer Fall Fair. We're going back to events that happened last year, but were kind of COVID, but now are coming in full swing. So we really want to hit those running, and we want to be at those ones to offer everyone a cool drink for this warm summer and mild with no rain, hopefully. And we want to add a flair to these events. We add something to it when we're there. We have a lot of followers that have come to where we are, so we get to bring them to it. So not only are we helping boost the event, we also want to do private events and fundraisers, ones that want to raise money for good causes, because we consider ourselves very charitable as we donate money back to the community where we can, and we always want to help out any way that we can. The big one is the sustainability of this kind of operation. This would be an extension of the Icebox. So the Icebox currently is 3 years this summer. We are maintaining good profit margins, and we're able to maintain our staffing, no problems with that. And we have stable revenue that we know that the truck would do well at. We have the actual mobile trailer booked for events that we would then be able to switch them out for. And we've had a lot of and I have on record our events that we weren't able to go to because of our size, so we can reapproach and say, hey, we got something way smaller and way better. And they're going to say, absolutely, here's your spot, because they want us there. And it's just the means of getting, ice cream in hot weather. It's a very finicky and very important thing to do. So that's where we get to bring it in and introduce it to a lot more events. And we'll bring an immediate cash flow for this summer. Obviously, the economic impact. This will be quite a bit job creator, because we can see, and we've talked to a lot of our suppliers about what we're doing for them and for their businesses as well. With the mobile unit, we're estimating it's going to be about 2 full-time equivalents for the actual operation of it during the summertime, as well as continual usage in the winter, because there's still production, they're still keeping the lights on that way. We're estimating an additional half FTE when it comes to production at our store. We currently have a production team member that'll be working in this summer 38 hours a week just making ice cream, so he's got no time for breaks in there. We're going to work that out, don't worry. But we're planning to add an extra half FTE so that we can continue it, so that even though the store might be closed, the lights are on, because we're still making ice cream. Because we make our ice cream 1 week before an event to ensure freshness, local ingredients, all that great stuff. That is the sound right there. That's just a slow-mo of our ice cream being poured out of caramel cappuccino, which is absolutely delicious. The other one is the spin-off of the growth for our suppliers. We started off at the beginning going around and hunting down the little farmer stands and basically clearing them out of their strawberries and everything like that, to the point that they said, you can't take it all because we still have to sell to our regular customers. Now that we've got customers that are saying, or suppliers that are saying that, look, you are 15% of our sales. What are your plans and what are your growth? Because we got to know so that we can continue to satisfy our current customers, but also satisfy you. And we are taking over more and more as different flavors come into be, and different things that we just create based on the seasonality of them. So that comes down to then how obviously we would use the funds. The funds are mostly, and what we're looking for here is to use it to purchase said ambulance, outfit it. We have the experience with it, with doing the trailer. The trailer was our R&D project for us to see, okay, how the heck do you fit a water containment system in there? How do you make the health unit happy? Because you always have to make your health inspector happy. And how do you do all that sort of stuff? And now that we know what to do, we can simply just recreate it for this here. Additionally, there's some electrical, there's some body work, making it super fancy, but then the equipment, which is stuff that we already know. So it's mainly up for us looking at it for the capital, because really we have all of the operational sides around it, the overhead, all that good stuff. It's mostly just making sure that we can have that part of it in there. So with the rollout of this and what we're kind of looking at with it, we're looking at it for this summer. We've got a great team that is eager, and we even have other people that we always get resumes dropped off at our store. So people always want to work for us because they know that we're a fun work environment. And I tell my employees to say that we're a fun work environment. I'm kidding. They actually do enjoy their time there. They come back year over year, especially those who go off to university. And there's a lot of great stories to be said with that. Other great stories is that people just love the absolute creaminess of our ice cream. They love the quality of it. Since we launched it in the fall, it's taken over our ice cream sales. So we we still have Shaw's ice cream because we still love it, and there's still a lot of flavors of theirs that we just can't figure out how to make, and that's perfectly fine because we're making stuff that is based on the seasonality and that kind of stuff. So when we have strawberry ice cream that's an Icebox one, you know it's because there's strawberries in season right now. It's not us going to a grocery store and getting some strawberries from Florida and stuff like that. So our flavors are going to change rapidly and going to change over time in that. Those ones we still keep the fan favorites and that kind of stuff because, yeah, strawberries might be out of season, but somebody's going to come in and that little girl is going to say, I want strawberries, or I'm going to throw a fit. And that is A-okay because we'll have it for them that way. I could go on and on about it long enough that your ice cream would melt with mine and that. But what I'm looking for from your selection and commitment is that we can secure the ambulance in the next few weeks. We'll be able to outfit it and have it ready for the first events that we have lined up, aiming for the end of May and June, giving us plenty of time for us to get the renovations done, all that good stuff, and then be able to get it out to all of it and see an amazing one so that I can, as much as you're going to ask me a bunch of questions, I can ask you the question at the St. Anne's Festival, at the Elmer Tractor Pull, at Rib Fest, which is like 1 scoop, 2 scoop, 3 scoop, 4. Thank you.
Excellent, excellent. And I actually did laugh, so I didn't even have to force myself, so it's good.
I am going to brag about that to my wife. So.
This is very interesting, and I probably other people don't know this either. But just because I'm the general manager here, and because I am the general manager, and because I'm a judge here, I make a point of never ever talking to any of the advisors about the contestants, about the finalists, or anybody that submitted business plans. So I never see or hear or anything. There's nothing. I get the name and that's it. Mm-hmm. So I saw the Icebox. I know you're located over on Ross Street. Yep. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, good. And I thought, oh, great, ice cream. Okay. But I'm all pumped now because I want to buy ice cream from an ambulance.
Absolutely.
It sounds like a very cool idea. I love the idea. I love your enthusiasm about that idea. I think you've got some really cool stuff going on. One of the questions I have, did you say an accountant by day?
Yes,
okay.
I am.
So your staff, how many people would you employ on a regular basis?
So right now, it fluctuates a little bit based on obviously our off season and on season. So on our off season, we have two full-time equivalents or 2 full-time employees, and that which basically handles our production, front of house, make sure that people get their ice cream fixes during the winter. Because again, it's not as much. I don't know why, but it is not as much. So I have to adjust for that. And then in the summertime, we scale up to last summer we were at 10 staff altogether doing about full-time hours because of all the events and us trying to get out there and all that kind of stuff. So that ranges from not just at the Icebox, but we're also at the Horton Farmers Market having a booth there. We have an ice cream bike that'll go around to different events and all that kind of stuff. So, and again, I just come up with ideas that make everyone's eyes roll, but I'm like, I'm your boss, so you got to roll it out, and then I need the staff to do it. So
perfect. And I think you answered part of my other question, and that is the seasonality of it. Obviously, you have to plan with your business plan and everything for a real fluctuation in sales.
Yes.
The difference between, I'm assuming your best months are going to be June, July, August, September, maybe. And how do you plan when you're going through a year like that where it is so seasonally up and down?
Yeah, it's not easy. I definitely have a lot of days that I might cry because you get those days when you're looking at something at 24-degree weather and you're like, yes, ramp up the staff, get the ice cream ready, here we go. And then it's a torrential downpour and you're like, of course it is. So then you can't plan for that. And then you have those kind of fluctuations that way. The main one is I'm glued to my cash flow analysis. I do a 3-month, 6-month, 9-month cash flow analysis when it comes to it. So I look at it saying, okay, where are my cash flows with my projections and that kind of stuff? Where am I going to be sitting, especially just to make sure that I lull through the winter and that kind of stuff. We still do well with the winter. The winter is, again, actually beneficial for us not to be insanely busy because it lets us come up with ideas and come up with new stuff for us to then roll out for the summer. If we were as busy as we were in the summer all year round and that kind of stuff, I mean, like I would need someone to replace me at least 4 months out and that kind of stuff because you need a break and that kind of stuff. So it's all honestly kind of nice that way too.
Cool. Good. And I do have another question I just thought of.
Yeah.
You did mention it briefly. Are there really large hurdles to jump with the health officials when you're putting ice cream in an ambulance?
So no, actually, thankfully not. So it's funny enough, just anecdotally and that kind of stuff, when the Southwestern Public Health Unit calls me and that kind of stuff, I answer the phone just saying, "Hi, bestie," because me and Stacy, my main rep in that, we get along great, and she knows that. My entire family are healthcare workers, so they're all nurses. So I grew up in a very sterile environment that way anyway. So IPAC or infection control and all that kind of stuff has been paramount in my life the entire time. So that's why I even went with an ambulance going, well, right, they have to be ready to do open surgery, and just in case in one of those ones. If a space is good for bloodborne pathogens, all that kind of stuff, it's good for a drop of ice cream to hit the ground. And that's kind of why we're going that route. It's already been steel cased, all that kind of good stuff. So it's really good that way. And I'm telling you, before I spout out any idea, I called a health unit first before I even talked to any of my business partners, because I'm like, I want them on board first, because really, they're the ones who can shut you down and should shut you down first if you've got a whack of an idea.
Good stuff. Great answers. Thank you.
Yeah.
So unlike Kevin, I'm very familiar with the Icebox. I had known Markus before they even opened their doors in the middle of the pandemic. And it's been awesome to kind of see you grow and pivot and overcome a rainstorm in the middle of an event that you've planned, pop up a bike here, show up at the Horton Farmers Market. So really great to see, how far you've come with the challenges that you've faced. My question is, what does the Icebox look like 5 years from now?
Oh.
If we continue at this pace and these ideas and the innovation and the new products, what does the Icebox look like in 5 years? And can you sustain the idea and the growth and the path that you're currently on?
So obviously 5 years is hard because I do change. We have to pivot so much and that kind of stuff. And we continually, like, ice cream is the main cornerstone, but we change projects all the time and that kind of stuff based on it. But what I definitely see, and like I'm getting this glimmer of hope with my staff. So I hire a lot of, in the summer, some university students and that kind of stuff, right? My best example of this was my one that was my cake decorator, God love her. She's just finished up schooling up in Ottawa, and she reached out to me, like not coming back for the summer, but she reached out. She goes like, "Oh my God, Markus, I found this perfect place for an Icebox. It would do so well." And I'm like, you know what? You would be perfect to run it. And I love everything about that. And so we've talked about it. We've talked about those kind of growths and that kind of stuff. The main thing that we would pivot, and I've said, and I've carved it in stone as our core value, though, is that any of the production of future stores and that kind of stuff, because that is a potential for us, is that they still source it locally to their counties and their areas and that kind of stuff. Because as much as I say that Walker's Dairy is the best dairy there is in this entire province, everyone else deserves a chance to showcase off their dairy too for their area or their strawberries or anything like that. So we really pivot that way. That being said, the business model still requires a corporate and all that kind of stuff to maintain that, and that's staying firmly in St. Thomas. Like that's something that we're staying that like, nope, we're the next one that way. One big thing to show for our values, though, is that we aren't going in the form of retail. Like we're not going on store shelves and that kind of stuff when it comes to grocery stores and that, just because of the requirements that they want in there. They want shelf life of over a year. They want it so that basically if you put it out in the sun, someone can forget about it, come back in an hour and go, oh, still good. You can't do that with natural ice cream. You can't do it with stuff that's cream, milk, basic ingredients and that kind of stuff. And that's not something that we're willing to sacrifice on. And because a lot of those ingredients don't come locally, they'll come from one major supplier and that kind of stuff, which that's just not our deal.
Great. And I just wanted to add that I eat more ice cream in the winter than the summer. So
yeah,
just adding that.
Which is why we're open in the winter too.
Right. Go ahead.
So does my wife. Man, Markus, I love what you're doing here. I love that you have strong values. You talk about not compromising. I think that's awesome. I love that my previous question got stolen, which is difficult as we get down the line here. But I guess my question for you would be like, are you prepared to take this from, like you said, you were an accountant by day, and this is something you do when you have time or by night.
Yep.
Is this something that you're prepared or you are planning to take as your full-time job?
Oh, absolutely. It's absolutely the plan. The main one is that so we've been around for 3 years, and that I haven't taken a dividend or salary from it because I've reinvested everything into it. The equipment is very expensive. I always tell my staff when they're going to clean one of the frozen yogurt machines, I'm like, you are cleaning a Honda Civic. Please be careful with it, because that's really what it comes down to. It comes to a lot of capital ones that way, and we didn't want to start off with being in debt. We wanted to continually grow naturally and that kind of stuff. So it is absolutely like we are reaching the end of where at least the St. Thomas location can't fit another machine inside of it, unless we like bring in a whole new electrical panel in there and that. So we say that this is where it is, and then it's something that I can fully go into, that I know that, okay, everything is super sustainable and that it doesn't affect like our personal lifestyle. And
So what does that look like then? What does that trigger point look like where you say, okay, this is sustainable and I'm going to move forward and do this as a full time?
Yeah, it's mainly showing the positive cash flow and showing that we've got a full holistic operation. That once I see that we can't add anything more into the operation, then I know that it's at maturity, and then I can join in to do it maintainably. The big one too, again, is also my personal ability to juggle too in that. Like right now, it's up at 7, bed at midnight and that kind of stuff. Once we start getting into saying like, oh, like I'm getting 3 hours of sleep just to maintain everything, then we're going to make the deciding point to say, okay, Icebox takes priority and that kind of stuff. But right now, I have a tremendously gifted manager who is doing a fantastic job in that. I love what she does, and so once we've hit that threshold of saying, okay, yeah, we just can't handle both in that, then basically if we see a quality dip, we say, yeah, decisions have to be made.
Excellent. No, answered my question. Thank you.
Perfect.
So the ambulance, have we seen this in practice, that we've served ice cream out of an ambulance
We
before?
have seen ice cream served out of every machinery or device there is out there. So the one that blows my mind is I always see just cargo vans down in the States where they just slap a few popsicle stickers on the side and they're like, it's an ice cream truck. And I'm like, that's stranger danger. So like, everyone does things differently and that kind of stuff. Other big ideas were we looked at a short bus, like a school bus and that kind of stuff. So one that, because you can do windows, and if you can make it into an RV, you can make it into an ice cream truck. That's basically the motto that everyone should know. But yeah, an ambulance it's super doable. My previous experience with an ambulance of why I'm comfortable with it, I used to work for Voyago, so I know about driving these things, and I know about the 72-point inspection, if I remember that correctly. So we know that kind of stuff. And then it's mostly cutting out, getting some of the innards out, so we don't need a spot for a stretcher to sit. So we can put a sink in that spot, or we don't need a cabinet for gauze, because it's like, well, we don't need gauze, we have toppings, that kind of stuff. So a lot of it's pretty transferable. So.
I have 2 more questions. Break even on buying the ambulance, and if you've got 10 staff now in the summer, is bringing the ambulance on meaning more staff?
Yes. So it would mean more staff. So we're looking at about 2 FTEs that we would probably devote to the ambulance. What the ambulance also offers too, which is super exciting, is that it would let us go into areas and just even like we don't want to do the drive around, like the whole drive around, like bells whistling and kids running out onto the streets. That's long gone due to safety, and that makes total sense to me. But for us still to go to communities and that kind of stuff, like there's like community groups like the Lake Margaret group and that kind of stuff. So you could just say in there, like they reach out and they're like, hey, all of our kids would like to meet out front in front of Lake Margaret on this day at this time. Can you swing by? We'd be like, sure. That's totally good for us. So it allows us to be able to move around. But we're looking at 2 FTEs strictly for it, and we're looking to keep them consistent because people love when we have consistent schedules, because people start to figure out their favorites. Like for instance, that I had a girl, Kenzie, that one guy said, yeah, like I go in when she goes in because she knows how many Skittles to put on my froyo and that. I'm like, it's a scoop, bud. But no, she knew exactly how many. So like people like that kind of consistency. Your first part of the question, though, I feel like I skipped a bit.
No, that's okay. So break even on the ambulance, how long do you think it would take you to pay back?
So an ambulance, roughly on Gov Deals, which is the main source to purchase them, is like that's the site that a lot of municipalities hand off their assets to be auctioned off and that kind of stuff. Sits at around $10,000 to $15,000 for one, which you're gonna be like, oh my God, I'm gonna go buy an ambulance, because that is a very good deal comparison to a step van, which is what a lot of them are made out of, like Purolator and FedEx and that. So we're honestly looking at. Depending on obviously the event size and that, we've got some lined up for us to go to, like Rib Fest in London. So then it's like if we have 3 Rib Fests, we break even because of how monstrous of an event it is and that kind of stuff. And then when it comes to smaller events, though, we're still looking at potentially probably that the end of this summer we've broken even, and that the following year is a gravy year in that. Because as much as I say we put everything in there, we always add stuff and always adjust things because we realize, oh, that doesn't work or this works and that kind of stuff.
My last question is the rising cost of food.
Yes.
How are you mitigating that in your business?
Yeah, so the big one with us is the bulk purchases and that kind of stuff. And again, it's kind of nice when we know our suppliers. So like, you know, when you go to a grocery store, they're going to just say like, it's going to be a stock shelf that's going to say tough, that's the price, right? But when you go to Walker's Dairy to like say like, oh, like it's gone up, you can be like, okay, I understand that. And you can sometimes work something out. Same with when we talk about some of our fruit growers and all that kind of stuff, there is some give and take with it. Obviously, there is still the insurmountable increases in that, and that one we try not to raise our prices immediately once something happens like that. We try to massage it in with our customers, and we also like to get a lot of their feedback in that. So it's not like you see the thing saying that dairy went up 15% and we're like, raise the prices 15%, because it's not an equivalent one with us, especially as we continue to grow and produce more. We get some economies of scale and that kind of stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good job, Markus. Thank you. So unfortunately, we cannot have Tyler Haviland present with us this evening, so we're going to pass over him. And we're going to move straight to judge deliberation. So I invite you, Kevin, to lead the judges into our deliberation room. And our viewing... There we go. And while we are waiting for the judges to deliberate for a winner, we are going to ask our virtual audience to please engage with us on your social media platforms. Go to Facebook or to YouTube and root for the winner. Let us know how you've enjoyed the presentation thus far, and we will be back with you soon.
All right. Thank you to everybody watching. Thank you for your patience while the judges deliberated. They are back. Nobody has bruises or cuts. And at this point, I would invite Kevin Jackson, our general manager, to come up and announce the winner. Kevin?
Okay, I just have to say, and I seem to say this every year, but it is true this year more than ever before. I'm almost a little bit glad that we only had 4 contestants, because the contestants, the finalists, were all excellent. It was really, really difficult for 4 judges to come up with a winner. It took a while to hash it out, but I just want you all to know that, and I think Sarah can attest to this as one of our employees now, but a former winner. Just the exposure of being in a finalist for this, the pitch opportunity, it grants you so much more moving forward. It instantly increases your credibility. It's something that you can add to your resume. And I know it doesn't sound like a big deal, but to say that you were one of the 5 finalists for the pitch for the Elgin Business Resource Centre, one of 250 CFTCs across this country that look after rural Canada and the growth of rural Canada, that's pretty cool. And I think you should all be proud of the presentations. First of all, not only the presentations, but the hard work on the business plan that our advisors take a look at and determine the 5 finalists from. So congratulations on your hard work on your business plan, and congratulations on your fine presentation. I know not everybody's somebody that can present easily, but you all made it look easy tonight. So just a round of applause for the 4 contestants. We'll announce the winner in 2 weeks. I've been wanting to say that all day. So the actual prize package, as I believe either Sarah or Mark mentioned earlier, is basically $25,000 in cash and in-kind services. I have already in my hand the check for $9,500. That's correct, isn't it? Because it's sealed now. $9,500 cash for the winner that they'll walk out of here with tonight. And it's ready to go for them. So I guess I have to announce the winner now, eh? Have I built enough tension? Is there tension in the room?
Drum roll.
The winner of this year's The Pitch is the Icebox. Can I come out this far? Yeah, good. Try fitting this in the bank machine.
Oh my God.
So congratulations. I guess we can shake hands. We'll sanitize later. Yeah.
My mom wouldn't
All
go
right.
any other way.
Got some photos of this. So we have the full amount on this check of $25,000, and that's cash and in-kind services. And here is the actual check for the cash portion of that. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I can't wait to buy an ice cream from an ambulance.
Absolutely.
I think it's pretty cool. Another round of applause for the Icebox. Okay. Mark, I'll turn it back over to you. Is there anything else you wanted to say at all?
Graydon, would you like to say a couple words?
Yeah. Again, I just want to say thank you to the judges for absolutely believing in what we're saying. This is another testament that we're on the right way. I mean, all small business owners and that, we kind of go through going like, oh, I think this is working and I think this is good and all that kind of stuff. But to actually see it happening, and again, like I can't say enough to say thank you to my team at the Icebox, because as much as I can say, oh yeah, we're the best new business or the favorite ice cream shop and that kind of stuff, I'm not there scooping every day, making sure that everyone has a fantastic experience. It's my front of house team that makes sure that everyone feels welcome and appreciated and loved in that. And I want to say thank you to them. And I don't know what else to say. I'm so happy. Thank you. Thank you.
It's all good. And with that, thank you everybody who's watched us and joined us online tonight. And thank you again to our judges who have donated both to our prize packages and their time yet again, and their tremendous support. It's been invaluable. And finally, to all the hard work from our excellent finalists and everybody else that had submitted business plans, because we couldn't do it without you guys either. Markus, congratulations again. Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you.